After his Iraq visit, is Qaani's latest warning boasting resistance front's unity making the US panic? By courting a key US-aligned Arab ally, is Qaani now mocking Trump and Netanyahu, turning their regional coalition into Iran's leverage? Iran's Quds Force chief flashes the unity card and vows payback for US and Israel's criminal war against Iran. The IRGC's Quds Force chief Esmail Qaani issued a strong warning to the US and Israel on April 24, vowing that Iran and its allies would make any aggressor regret launching the war. Touting the unity of the so-called resistance front, Qaani said Iran's regional allies stand together and will respond collectively to continued US-Israeli attacks. Qaani's post on X read, quote, "The support of the resistance front and the fighters without borders in the war against the American Zionist enemy is the unity of the streets and the cohesion of the authorities. Those who say, we are all Iranians and revolutionaries, and with the iron unity of the nation and the state, with complete obedience to the supreme leader of the revolution. We will make the criminal aggressor regret it. One God, one leader, one nation, and one path. And that is the path of victory for Iran, dearer than life." Unquote. Qaani's remarks were in line with recent messages from Iran's top leadership, which have repeatedly stressed internal cohesion despite battlefield pressure. This includes President Masoud Pezeshkian, Parliament Speaker Mohammad Baqer Ghalibaf, and Judiciary Chief Gholamhossein Ejei, who have all publicly rejected claims of divisions in Tehran. They issued a coordinated response to Donald Trump's comments about fractures in Iran's leadership, dismissing his remarks as propaganda. Mojtaba Khamenei stated that, due to unity among compatriots, a fracture has occurred in the enemy, arguing that cohesion in Iran has instead exposed weaknesses on the opposing side. These statements come just days after reports of Esmail Qaani's visit to US-aligned Iraq, where he met political leaders and militia representatives to discuss the war and coordinate allied factions. Qaani first sat down with militia leaders, the men who command fighters on the ground, and then held separate talks with leaders of the Shiite Coordination Framework. The SCF, or Shiite Coordination Framework, is a powerful coalition of pro-Iran Shiite parties that currently forms the largest bloc in Iraq's parliament. Reports say Qaani's main mission was to hammer out an agreement on who the coalition should nominate as Iraq's next prime minister. Initially, the coordination framework leaned toward bringing back Nouri al-Maliki as prime minister, a figure long seen as close to Iran. In response, Donald Trump reportedly threatened that the US would cut off vital aid to Iraq if al-Maliki returned to the premiership. Iraqi media say the talks also focused heavily on the future of the militias that have become a permanent part of the country's security landscape. One idea on the table is to integrate these militias into official state security institutions, while keeping their political and armed wings formally separate. Another stated goal of Qaani's visit was to address regional de-escalation and its impact on Iraq, according to an account carried by AFP. An Iraqi source said Qaani was keen to ensure that security in Iraq does not deteriorate during these sensitive times for the wider region. After Qaani's visit, the US suspended dollar cash shipments to Iraq and froze parts of its security cooperation with the Iraqi military, according to officials cited in US media. The Wall Street Journal reported on April 21 that the move was intended to pressure Baghdad to rein in and curb the activities of Iran-backed militias operating in Iraq. US Treasury Department officials blocked a cargo plane delivery of nearly $500 million in US banknotes, halting a scheduled shipment of cash to Baghdad. These funds were proceeds from Iraqi oil sales held in accounts at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, which routinely disperses physical dollars to Iraq's central bank. This was the second such delay since the US-Israeli war against Iran began on February 28, indicating a pattern of using dollar shipments as leverage. The move followed weeks of attacks by Iran-backed militias on US facilities in Iraq in support of Tehran, including strikes on bases and diplomatic sites. In a statement on April 21, the Central Bank of Iraq said it was not short of US currency, pushing back against reports of a dollar shortage. The bank said it had fulfilled all requests from banks and exchange companies for US dollars, insisting that domestic demand for cash dollars was being met. Meanwhile, on April 23, US President Donald Trump sent a fresh nuclear message to Iran.
Sir, would you use a nuclear weapon against Iran? You posted on Truth Social a few weeks ago.
We don't need it. Why do I need it? Why would a stupid question like that be asked? Why would I use a nuclear weapon when we've totally, in a very conventional way, decimated them without it? No, I wouldn't use it. A nuclear weapon should never be allowed to be used by anybody.
How long are you willing to wait until you get a unified response?
Don't rush me, Jeff. Guys like you want to say, oh, so we were in Vietnam like for 18 years. We were in Iraq for many, many years. we're in for I don't like to say World War II because that was a biggie, but we were 4.5, almost 5 years in World War II. We were in the Korean War for 7 years. I've been doing this for 6 weeks. Anti-aircraft is gone. All of their anti-aircraft machinery is gone. Maybe they loaded up a little bit during the 2-week hiatus, but we'll knock that out in about 1 day if they did. We've done an amazing job. Their leaders are gone. You know, the leaders are all gone. So we've taken out their military. We've hit about 75% of our targets. We stopped a little early because they wanted to have some peace. And we have a blockade that's 100% effective. And they're getting no business. And as you know, they're not doing well economically, financially. They're not doing any business because of the blockade. They want to make a deal. We have been speaking to them, but they don't even know who's leading the country. They're in turmoil. They're in turmoil. So we thought we'd give them a little chance to get some of their turmoil resolved.
The U.S. now has been involved with Iran. You had initially said it would be 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, I hope that, but I also took a little break. I gave them a break. And remember this, I want to make the best deal. I could make a deal right now. Do you know that if I left right now, we had a tremendous success. It would take them 20 years to rebuild, but I don't want to do that. I want to have it everlasting. I want to have it where they never have a chance to get it. I mean, the way you asked that question, yeah, I did say it. I thought it would take 4 to 6 weeks, and I was right, because at the end of 6 weeks, at the end of 4 weeks, their military was decimated.
So what are you saying?
But now what I'm doing, I can't tell you that. I don't want to put that kind of a timetable on it, but it'll go pretty quickly. And we'll have the strait opened up. Now, right now, we have it closed. We have total control of the strait. And the fact that it's closed, you know, they would have opened it up 3 days ago. They came to us and they said, we will agree to open the strait. And all my people were happy. Everybody was happy except me. I said, wait a minute, if we open the strait, that means they're going to make $500 million a day. I don't want them to make $500 million a day until they settle this thing. So I'm the one that kept it closed. We have total control of it. And it'll open when they make a deal or something else happens that's very positive.
What do you say to the American people who question how much longer this will take? Obviously, you know that they are having
You're such a disgrace. Did you hear what I just said? Vietnam. How many years was Vietnam?
I understand, sir. But
how many years was Vietnam?
So
well, I did my I took the country out militarily in the first 4 weeks. I took it out militarily. Now all we're doing is sitting back and seeing what deal. And if they don't want to make a deal, then I'll finish it up militarily with the other 25% of the targets. We've hit 78% of the targets that we've wanted to hit. We've knocked out their manufacturing.
If you need more time, does that mean Americans should anticipate spending more on gasoline for the foreseeable future?
For a little while. And you know what they get for that? You know what they get for that? Iran without a nuclear weapon that's going to try and blow up one of our cities or blow up the entire Middle East. You want to see what shock would be? And I have to be honest, the stock market is at an all-time high right now. I thought it would have been down 20, 25%. When we hit, wait a minute, wait, can I finish my question, wise guy?